This card effect uses two decks of playing cards. One is red-backed, and the other is blue-backed. We'll begin by giving both decks a thorough shuffling, just to ensure an adequate mixture of cards. Now this is an experiment in the difference between intuition and clairvoyance. We'll begin by testing your intuition. I'd like you to take this deck of cards, the blue deck, and hold it face down. The deck of cards is handed to your spectator, and they hold the cards face down in their left hand. Now I'd like you to select a card by cutting off a portion of the deck, it can be small or large, turning it face up and dropping it back on top. So the spectator cuts off a portion of cards, turns them face up, and drops them back on top of the deck. At this point, you retrieve the deck of cards from the spectator and spread them, saying you could have selected any of these cards by cutting to them, but this is the card here that you cut to. And we'll place that off to the side for just a moment. It's going to remain a mystery for the time being, but I'll place it, sight unseen here, somewhere in the center of the red deck. Now you'd have to agree that there'd be very little way for you to know what that card was. Now of course if you spread through the cards, you would be able to identify it because its back is blue. But if I turn the cards over and spread them, you wouldn't know which card was the blue back selection. Well, you might know it's here somewhere in the center of the pack. But if I give the cards a shuffle, now you would have to agree that not only do you not know what card you selected from the blue deck, but you don't know where that card is in this deck. And of course the spectator agrees. Spectator is then invited to hold their hands face up in front of them, and the cards are dealt from your hand into their hands one at a time, turning them over. They're invited to say stop at any point that they feel the urge to do so. Stop here on the 5 of hearts. You can stick with that card or you can change your mind. What would you like to do? Would you like to change your mind? That's fine. We'll turn it face down and continue dealing. And please, whenever you feel the urge, please say stop. Stop. Here on the 9 of hearts. Very well. Now, you'll notice so far, turning these cards over, we have not seen your blue back selection. It could, of course, be here in my hands. Let's take a look. If we spread through all of these cards, you'll see that all of these cards are in fact red-backed. And of course, all of the cards that were below your face-up selection are red-backed as well. Is it possible that your intuition somehow allowed you to stop me on the one card that you chose just a moment ago? Let's take a look. Well, there it is. You somehow managed to stop me on the 9 of hearts, the blue back selection that you just freely selected. That's some amazing intuition that you have there. But what about clairvoyance? Is it possible that I could have known that you were going to select this card before we even started? I know it might sound impossible, but it's absolutely possible. You see, before we even began, I was able to take a card from the red deck and place it here in the blue deck. And that was done before we even began. If I spread the cards out on the table, you'll see that card here. Would it be amazing if it was somehow the 9 of hearts? Let's take a look. Impossible proof that clairvoyance exists. And that is in the hands open prediction.